It has been so fun this summer just watching all the transitions of the butterflies, the caterpillars, the chrysalises, and the eggs here in the butterfly house at Garden Crossings. And I think we're going to actually get about 4 different cycles of the monarchs this year, so that's pretty exciting. Right now we're in the beginning of September and we have an explosion of caterpillars right now. We've got some monarchs that are fluttering around, but the caterpillars that were the eggs emerged from about 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half ago, are all full grown and they are just fighting for food at this point. Every day we're bringing in more and more of the milkweed for them because they are just going through it like hungry caterpillars. So we're going to take a look today at some of the caterpillars, what they're up to, what they're doing. Also, we brought in around 38 or so of the black swallowtail chrysalis and caterpillars, and those too have done really well for us. So we've had, I think we've counted about 6 or 7 black swallowtails at one time in the butterfly house, but obviously they're emerging at different stages, so it's not like we're going to have all 30 in one day. So that's been fun too, just to see that those guys have done well, are laying eggs. The other day we were out here and saw one laying eggs, so that was encouraging too for the whole cycle of the black swallowtails. So let's take a look at the monarch caterpillars right now and just look at them and watch them and look what they're doing on these plants. It's really very beautiful to watch and to see. We're going to check out for some eggs of black swallowtails so I can show you what those look like, and we'll see if there's any black swallowtail butterflies fluttering around as well. So let's go ahead. We're going to start off by taking a look here at the caterpillars. When we walk in the butterfly house these days, we have to be really careful where we're walking because these caterpillars, they are on the move. So we're kind of watching down at our feet to make sure we're not stepping on any of them. But this is an example of some Aesculapius or milkweed that we've brought into the butterfly house. And you can see these caterpillars have absolutely just stripped these plants of any and all foliage. So right now there's some kind of crawling around looking for more food. And as I mentioned earlier, every day we're bringing in more milkweed for them to eat. And here's a fresh plant that we just recently brought in, and you can see that it's got a lot of foliage on it, so a lot of food here for the caterpillars. If we head back here, you'll see another tray where they know where to go. They know how to find the food. So if they run out of food in one area, they'll get on the move and they'll find the next area. And one thing that's really neat with the caterpillars is it feels like these plants are alive. When there's so many on here, sometimes the plant just kind of shakes from all of the movement that they're creating when they're eating. We'll look back here and you can just see them absolutely just munching away at that plant. And it's funny because sometimes they're kind of synchronized when the plant just kind of gets a little shake to it. But it's fun to watch them just go through and eat these plants just bare to nothing. Now the caterpillars we're seeing right now, these are nearly full grown. So if I had to guess, in the next day or 2, they are going to be going off to do their chrysalis stage. And usually about 2 weeks or so after they've gone into a chrysalis is when we'll see them emerge as butterflies. So it's so fun to watch this transition from stage to stage to stage and to be able to see it several times throughout the summer. So milkweed is the plant that they are definitely enjoying. Also, I mentioned we have some black swallowtails in here, and so the black swallowtails, they like anise and dill and fennel. And so here's a huge plant that actually overwintered here in the butterfly house. And yesterday we were out here, and I'm trying to see if I can, right here actually. Here are 4 eggs. There's 2 there at the tip. That's from the black swallowtail. And then, let's see, here's another, actually 3 of them. So that's really encouraging that we're seeing that they're laying eggs, and hopefully we'll be seeing some black swallowtail caterpillars here shortly as well. So that was my goal for this year, is I wanted to be able to introduce new butterfly species into this house. And the nice thing with black swallowtail is they can overwinter in the house. So if there's a chrysalis in here in the winter, that can live in here through the winter, and then next spring when it's ready, they'll emerge in here and start the next cycle. So that's really cool. So what do we have in the butterfly house as far as pollinator plants? Let's take a look. So some of the prolific plants right now for pollinator are the Truffula gomphrena. That's one that the butterflies are on frequently when the butterfly house is full of butterflies. Another plant that we really love and see them frequently on is the butterfly bush. So these are the Pugster series of butterfly bush. Now don't be afraid, these are in a very hot, warm environment, so they are living their happiest, best life. So they're much taller in here than what they would be in your landscape. I'm looking around here just to get a quick eye on how many butterflies there are, and there's probably only a dozen or so, so there's not a ton in here right now. As we mentioned, it's because they're cycling, which they've done throughout the summer. It's either feast or famine, it feels like, with the butterflies. We have a lot of petunias in here. We have salvia and monarda. The monarda over there, actually, that's its second bloom cycle. It bloomed in April, and now it's blooming again here at the end of the summer. We gave it a nice light trim, and it's right back at it again. I think the plant that's in here that I like the most, though, is the butterfly bush. Now, it's not a host plant for butterflies. They can't lay their eggs. They don't eat it. It's there for the plants to enjoy, and that's where they get their food source from. The butterflies get their food source from. You can see over here on this wall, they tend to kind of congregate over here, especially during the heat of the day. And I'm seeing a lot of black swallowtails. Actually, there's 4 of them just right here where I'm standing. So these are the black swallowtail butterflies. Let's see if I can reach in here. Well, I don't know. There's one. There's another one there hanging out with the monarch. Got one here. So yeah, there's a lot of them. So yeah, this is exciting for us. There's enough in here that they can be mating, and that's what we want to get those eggs for that next cycle. So you'll find the caterpillars just about anywhere these days, especially when they're going off to do their chrysalis. I noticed that this plant was kind of moving a little bit, so I came in to take a closer look, and sure enough, there's a monarch caterpillar hanging out here on the coleus. So what he's off doing is looking for the perfect place to go ahead and spin its cocoon, or its chrysalis, I guess would be the technical word for it. It's kind of weird when you're standing next to a plant and you've got the caterpillars just as tall as you are. So this is a Asclepias milkweed, hairy balls is what this one is called. This one's over 5 foot tall, and caterpillars are just all hanging out all over this plant. So we'll be needing to bring them in some more food shortly, because this one will probably be stripped by the end of the night. So it's been fun, like I said, watching the transition in here, just watching all of these caterpillars do their thing, the butterflies do their thing, and I would say it's been a pretty successful year in the butterfly house, and that's what we look for, like a year where we have little disease and bug issues, where the caterpillars can just live happily and not be fighting with any of the pests and stuff that we really don't want in here. So hopefully in 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, we'll be able to do an update video where the butterflies are just going crazy. We'll be doing butterfly releases again, especially this time of year. We don't want to keep them captive in the butterfly house. We want to let them go, because it's getting near time where they're going to want to head south. So stay tuned in the next few weeks for a butterfly release video once all of these caterpillars have gone through their cycle and become butterflies. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.